Look, the man sitting at that table is probably the man who delivered the letter to me.
She was from Surrey, that she was ever the siren. When she sang in the tavern, oh, it was something else.
You? You're here? I suppose you're hoping to silence me. And to think my poor mistress was delighted to make your acquaintance. If only she'd known what a monster you are. You and your whole family of criminals. I will not be intimidated. I will find her, whatever it takes.
I don't understand a single thing you've said. Explain yourself, that's all I'm asking.
Yes, play the fool. I know you're to blame for what happened to her, and I'll prove it. I'll have you hanged.
You're not the first to promise me that. Now stop this childishness and tell us what happened. We can help you find your mistress.
You keep playing your little game, but you won't fool me. We'd only been here a few days when she told me to stay in her room here at the inn because she was going to meet you. She was so happy to have been contacted by your nephew, who had promised a meeting with you at the docks. She could already see herself doing business in Dewton with your help. But she never came back. And when I went looking for her and mentioned your nephew, I was told that he was missing too. So don't tell me you had nothing to do with it.
I never arranged any meeting with your mistress, I can assure you of that. My nephew must have used my name to secure the meeting.
You're nothing but a family of criminals, that's what you are. I've had enough of your lies, but I won't give up. I'll find her.
Look, that drunkard has left his keys just sitting there on the bar. Wouldn't it be a laugh if we could snatch them from under his nose?
If these are the keys to the harbour master's office like I think they are, they'll come in handy.
If we want to find this merchant, we're going to need to know something about her and the meeting that was to take place. Why don't we search her room?
Oh, I should have stayed a sailor. Whatever possessed me to become a guard. I don't like being on land. It's so warm. You're a bunch of sad sacks today. Is there nobody here who'll go around or sing us a song?
I don't have the key. I can't do it.
She was from Surrey, and she was ever the siren. When she sang in the tavern, oh, it was something else. We were all madly in love with her. That she couldn't care less. And we drank to forget. One rum chasing down the last.
Hey, could you help us?
Water is a crime! Leave me to drown! I should have stayed a sailor.
Well done.
Now,
That should make it
what have I
easier
done
to
with
get
my
into the harbour
keys?
master's office.
There's nothing to fret over. They'll find their way back to me in due time. You're a bunch of sad sacks today. Is there nobody?
This door is locked.
This rum reminds me of a girl. She was from Surrey, and she was ever the siren. When she sang in the tavern, oh, it was something else. We were all madly in love with her. That she couldn't care less. And we drank to forget. One rum chasing down the last. You're a bunch of sad sacks today. Is there nobody here who's going around or... It's a song. bunch of sad sacks today.
This message tells the merchant to meet on the docks near Overseas House. It's signed Rudolph, the nephew of the smuggler Ludwig.
What on earth has got into the lad?
Let's go and have a look on the docks. Maybe we'll find something there.
Let's run. Reminds me of a girl.
This is the place mentioned in Rudolph's message.
Let's look around. Maybe we'll be able to learn what happened.
This hat is very similar to those worn by the congregation. The merchant we're looking for must have lost it. That's blood. The meeting was apparently a trap. Luckily, the attackers left us a fresh trail.
I hope it's not Rudolph's blood. What?
I see trucks over here. We'll have to be careful. We're... We'll have to be careful. We're not supposed to be here.
The bloodstains lead straight to this warehouse. I hope your nephew is still alive, my dear Ludwig.
Hey! Who goes there?
Show them what we're made of!
Someone was tied up with this rope. Either our merchant or your nephew, Ludwig.
Whoever wrote this said that the goods should be moved to a cave in the backcountry to minimize risk. That's a funny way of putting it. I'm pretty sure the goods they're talking about are actually people, and that they're the ones we're looking for.
I think that's all there is. I doubt we'll find anything more.
Damn it, Rudolph, what have you got yourself into? Everything suggests that he's involved in some kind of kidnapping.
It's hard to know whether he instigated this or whether he was a victim. There aren't enough clues here to draw any conclusions.
What do you think? Could he be behind all this?
The lad I knew had never set foot on a ship. In fact, he'd never been further than his own property line. I'd like to say he couldn't have done it, but the truth is, I don't know. And now all I want to do is save him from the gallows.
Then let's try to find that cave from the letter.
Let's. The sooner the better.
I knew if I followed you I'd find something. What were you doing in that warehouse? Is that where you're keeping my mistress?
We're not holding anyone. We followed a trail that led from the docks to this place.
A likely story. It's a good thing I hired these men. We're gonna tear this place apart and find out where you bastards are hiding her. But first, we're gonna search you. You can't leave here with any evidence. Search them.
No quarter!
Stop, please. We had no intention of killing you. We just want to find my mistress.
Why didn't you listen to us then?
You wouldn't let us search you. And I thought you were involved in her disappearance. What choice did I have?
You could have believed us when we told you that we had nothing to do with it, but that we were going to find your mistress and my nephew.
Then what were you doing in that warehouse? Did you find anything there? Do you have any leads? My mistress isn't just anybody, you know. She's not just important to me. She's important to the congregation.
We went to the place where your mistress was supposed to have a meeting. We found a trail that led us here. The clues we found in this warehouse suggest that she's been kidnapped. And we discovered a note that mentioned a cave in the backcountry. We planned to go to see if she is being held there.
Thank you for telling me all that. I'm beginning to feel hopeful again. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I suppose I'll just have to return to the tavern and hope you find her ladyship.
Hello? Are you lost?
Let me out of here, you louts! You don't know who you're dealing with!
We'll have to be careful. We're not supposed to be here.
Somebody help me! I'm being held captive by these brutes! Somebody help me, please!
Who are you? What are you doing here?
We've come for the people you're holding prisoner.
Why did you kidnap them? One of them is a Naut like yourselves.
That grimy bit of flotsam. He hired us to frighten the lady, but we weren't supposed to hurt her. He just wanted some answers. The fool. She's a merchant from the congregation. Can you imagine what she's going to get us when we demand a ransom? So we called a few friends and kidnapped her. As for him, well, we'll see what happens when we get the money.
Let me talk to them. I know this sort of people well. You want easy money? Fine. How much do you want?
This merchant is probably worth a fortune. So bring us a fortune and nothing will happen to the prisoners. Otherwise... And since we're not dogs, if you don't have the coin, a very valuable item will do the trick.
Did you really think your little scam was going to work? This merchant is well known and has a lot of friends. Her servant has alerted the guard, who are on their way. We were just sent ahead to make sure she was all right.
Lass, mate, barnacles! They could clap us in irons! Here, take the key and free your cursed merchant. We're out of here.
You're free. Come with us. We'll take you somewhere safe.
Let me up!
Oh, that's such a relief. I thought I'd never get out of that cage. However did you find us?
All we did was follow your trail from the docks where you met. As a matter of fact, your servant was so worried about you that he took it out on us.
Oh, poor Joseph. Oh, don't blame him. He's very protective and fiercely loyal. But it sometimes makes him lose his wits. Thank you very much for your help. But I am quite exhausted and hungry, so I must get back to the tavern straight away.
I suppose you expect me to thank you?
No, that's not really my style. But I do expect an explanation. How did you get caught up in this mess?
I hired those thugs to help me scare the merchant a little. But when they realized that it wasn't about getting a hefty ransom, they decided to take matters into their own hands. They grabbed us both and brought us here. I imagine they were hoping that the congregation would pay for her, but as for me...
Why did you want to intimidate this merchant?
I wanted her to tell me something about my mum. About what had become of her.
None of this makes any sense. Why would she have any information about your mother?
You haven't heard? Our village was attacked. They set fire to it. Grandad, your father was killed in the fight, along with lots of other villagers. All thanks to you, my dear uncle.
No. No, that can't be true.
A few of us managed to escape, like me and Mum. But we got separated in the confusion. I made it to the sea and decided to become a Norse. To get away from everything. From the war and the consequences of your crimes. But Mum, she fled to the congregation. And I was hoping that this merchant would know where she is.
I'm sorry, Rudolph. I'm so very, very sorry. My father, the village. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Maybe not, but it happened. So try and find Mum, will you? I just want to know she's alright.
I'll try. But you know the congregation's a big place and not everyone who lives there knows everyone else.
I realise now that my plan was stupid. I only hoped. Ever since I became a Norse, I've been here on Yuxantis. I'm just sea-given, and I don't really have my sea legs. They never sent me back to the continent, so when I heard about this merchant, I wanted to talk to her.
I can understand that. And I also understand your anger towards me. But don't go getting into trouble like this in the future. Don't end up like me.
I'll be more careful in the future. But try to find out where my mum is. Please.
Now that Rudolph is safe and sound and we've proven that he didn't mistreat that merchant, I think I owe you an explanation.
I'm listening.
You know that I was a soldier once. In the village where I grew up, I was forcibly conscripted by the local lord to take part in the Civil War. It was horrible. We were used as cannon fodder, and the nobles who gave us orders never took any risks themselves. I ended up leaving that life behind and becoming a smuggler. But what you don't know is why I left the army. I killed my commanding officer. The bounty on my head isn't so much for my smuggling activities as for that first offense. Some years ago, not long after that incident, they tried to get me by targeting my brother, Rudolph's father. They threatened to hang him if I didn't surrender. I knew they'd hang us both if I gave myself up, so I let my brother hang.
I'm sorry, Ludwig. I understand your nephew's behavior better now. But why did you kill your officer?
That's a story for another day. Suffice it to say that he had it coming. Anyway, I want to thank you for helping me. It means a great deal to me. Ah, good timing. I had a favor I wanted to ask you.
What is it?
Do you remember Rudolph? He asked me to find his mother, if you recall. I spread word that I was looking for her, and she recently sent me a letter. She says she fled to the congregation's lands. She met a farmer there and remarried. However, it seems that she and her husband are having difficulties and have asked me for help. After everything this woman suffered because of me, I owe it to her to go. And I'd like you to come with me. Something about her letter strikes me as odd, and an objective opinion would help me see things more clearly, instead of being blinded by my guilt.
Of course.
Thank you. In her letter, she said her farm was in High Prairie. Let's go.
We'll talk later.
I'll always be here if you need me.
Here we are, off the coast of the proud cities of the congregation.
to attack at a vest?
Winter clothes, summer clothes, light clothing. Hello? Are you looking for a piece of jewellery to give your lover? Or a new shirt, perhaps? Mother of pearl and precious stones. Evenings in damask. I've got you covered.
From here, the farm doesn't look very prosperous.
That's an understatement. I'm afraid your family isn't exactly living in luxury, and they're not going to get rich farming those fields.
Hello. You must be Mark, Clotilde's husband.
And I assume you're Ludwig, her late husband's brother. I can't tell you how happy I am to meet you and your friends. Unfortunately, we can't really celebrate this occasion as well as we'd like. As you can see, our farm isn't in the best condition.
Indeed. Where is Clotilde?
She's gone to Perenne to try to find a solution. Unfortunately, we're up to our ears in problems. The farm isn't producing enough, the soil is too poor, and we're heavily in debt. I'm afraid we're going to lose what little we have left. That's why I wrote to you.
You wrote to me? I thought the letter was from Clotilde. That explains a lot. I was surprised she asked me for help, considering the way things are between us.
I'm sorry. We heard you were looking for her. She refused to contact you, of course. But given our circumstances, I thought any help would be welcome. So I wrote on her behalf. I hope you'll forgive me.
I understand. My friends and I will do our best to help you.
You say your farm isn't producing enough. What can you tell us about it?
We harvest almost nothing from our fields. The soil isn't good. Or maybe it's the seeds we've been using. We're working ourselves to the bone with no results, especially since the tools we bought are all broken.
We should be able to find you some good seeds that are better suited to this soil. I have an idea of where.
You said you were in debt.
We needed to borrow money to buy seeds and tools. Unfortunately, we chose the wrong person. What seemed like a small amount at first has grown into a huge debt, and the debt collectors won't leave us alone. They're threatening to take my land. If they do, Clotilde and I will have nothing left. After everything she's been through, it would kill her.
We must leave you now, but don't worry. We'll find a solution to your problems.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You can stay as long as you like. You're always welcome here.
Your family seems to be struggling. What can we do to help them?
I have an idea. I have a hiding place nearby where I kept some seeds and tools that could help them get their crops going again. But we should take a look around the farm too. Maybe the soil just isn't right for what they planted, and we may be able to repair the tools.
Can you tell me more about this hiding place?
It's in Peren, outside the city. I'd been storing these farm supplies there to smuggle them into the south of the Empire.
It's not far, but it's not exactly close either. Maybe we should concentrate on what we can do here first.
It's up to you. I admit I'm not thinking very clearly when it comes to my family.
Let's see what we can do here first.
Lead the way. Let's have a look at those tools. If they're broken, we might be able to repair them.
These tools are old and well used, but they're still in good working condition.
That's odd. Maybe Mark exaggerated so we would bring him better tools. We should take a closer look at the soil in this field. It looks unusually sandy to me.
It's true that the soil looks dry and powdery, but I can't say whether that's normal or if there's a way to improve it.
Why would Mark do that? Is he trying to milk us for money?
This feels like a scam. Your brother-in-law owes us an explanation.
Mark, you lied to us. I'd like to know why.
What? I didn't lie to you, I assure you,
We took a look at your tools. They're in fine condition.
I didn't check them myself. Our farmhand told us they were no good. Why would he try to sabotage the farm? I swear I haven't lied to you. I don't understand why you're accusing me like this.
You'd better tell us the truth. Ludwig is family after all, and he came to help you because you asked him to. Did you really need the money so badly? Is someone threatening you?
You're right. This is absurd. Forgive me, it's true. I lied. And Clotilde isn't in Peren. She's hiding here in the barn. Clotilde, come out! She'll explain everything.
Here I am, Mark. They know everything.
Of course. You took us for complete fools. Why did you lie to us?
Because we didn't have any other choice. All this is your fault.
My fault? How's that?
General Eisenach sent his henchmen. He forced us to help him capture you.
Why did you accept? If you think he's going to spare you when he attacks, you're entirely mistaken.
Your favorite excuse. The General is so cruel that he'd kill us too. It's for that same reason that you let him kill your own brother. All Eisenach would have had to do is hand me the rope and I'd have hung you myself. That's how much I hate you. It doesn't matter if he kills us. At least Rudolph will live. He promised me. They're holding him, you see. I won't lose my son because of you.
Clotilde, I am sorry, but he tricked you. Rudolph is in Yuxantis. We met him. He was looking for you, by the way. That is why I have been searching for you in earnest. But forget that for now. Eisenach is coming, and we need to prepare.
You are right. We can most certainly use this failed trap against him. Are there any things here that we could use to defend the farm?
The assault will likely go through the courtyard. We could set traps at the entry.
That's an idea. There are lots of things in the barn we could use to build them with, if you know how to make them.
We could also place explosives in a few barrels in the courtyard. But we need to hurry. They'll soon be here. Well done. They'll be easier to defeat if they're bleeding before the fight even starts.
Good. That should give us a bit of an advantage.
I don't think there's anything else we can do. Now we wait for the General and his men.
I'll be in your debt if everyone gets out of this unscathed. Let them come. General Eisenach, at last we meet face to face.
Finally, I'll make you pay for my son's death, you gibbet-bound wretch!
I will not be hung without a fight.
I expected nothing less from you. Soldiers, attack!
Let's show them what we're made of!
Completely ruined!
My armor is now useless!
Hang in there. Look, the General is fleeing. These must be his last men.
Let's make these heretics pay.
Show them what we're made of!
We should go after him. That bastard will never leave my family in peace.
No, Ludwig, I don't think now is the time. If we go now, how can we be sure he doesn't have more soldiers waiting to take revenge on your family? Our priority is to make sure they're safe. We'll deal with the general another time.
You're alive!
Yes, but no thanks to you.
You caused us a great deal of pain, and I thought my son in danger. I didn't hesitate an instant choosing between him and you. But you were right. I heard what the General was saying. He would have killed us all. And I suppose it was the same as when he had your brother. I am sorry, Ludwig. I apologize.
If I hadn't killed the General's son, none of this would have happened.
His son was your commanding officer, wasn't he? Why did you kill him?
He was a cold-hearted fool, completely drunk on power, who had already put us through hell on the battlefield. He was always risking our lives, never his own. We meant nothing to him. We had captured enemy soldiers that day. They were poor people, peasants who had been forcibly conscripted, just like us. They were our neighbors. We knew some of them. He ordered us to kill them so we wouldn't have to feed them. Their lives were of no value to him. I refused to obey his order, and so did the others. He threatened to hang us for insubordination. We fought him. He could barely hold a sword. I killed him.
And you were right to do so. I'm sorry, Ludwig. I didn't know what happened. All I knew was that because of that incident, we lost so many of our family members and our home.
I know. How many times have I asked myself if I could have done things differently?
But we can't turn back time. At least Rudolf is alive. He wants to see you again. We could take you to Yuxantis if you'd like. Our friend Captain Alvida will be happy to take you there, I'm sure.
That's all I could ever want. But Mark, that means leaving the farm behind.
After everything that's just happened here, I think it's best to get away for a while. Let's go to Yuxantis.
Rudolph, you got my message?
Mom! My darling, I thought I'd lost you. I never imagined it would be your uncle who would bring us together at last.
Hello.
This is Mark, my new husband. He helped me so much after we fled the village. I hope you'll get along well.
Come on. Let's leave them to celebrate their happy reunion. Thank you. Thank you all for helping me save them and bring them back together. It's nice of you to have accompanied me to High Prairie. and to have helped me sort out this affair when you already have so much to do. I'll not forget what you've done for me and mine. And now you know everything about my life.
Goodbye, Ludwig.
Bye. Take care.